Peace be with you. In the Quran, there's an Arabic term that God uses to denote those who are finally disobedient to God, and this term is fasiq. And what they do when they are doing this, they're fasiqoon. And this is an important term to understand because it describes people and it describes them according to their actions. And a lot of times you see Muslims who believe that they can commit any kind of sin that they want and still call themselves Muslims, and then they're like, well, I'm still a Muslim, so what? They think that God favors them even after they disobey him repeatedly. And I'm not just talking about little mistakes, I'm talking about major sins that people who call themselves Muslims continue to make. So I think the lack of familiarity with this term is allowing them to delude themselves, and this is why I'm making this video. In the Quran, in the 3rd chapter, verse 162, we're told, Is then he who follows the pleasure of God like him who has made himself deserving of displeasure from God, and his home is hell, and is an evil destination. So people who are deserving of displeasure from God, their home is hell. And how do they do that? They do what God hates. And then in the 32nd chapter, verses 18 through 20, we're told, Is he then who is a believer, mutmineen, like him who is a fasiqoon, like him who is defiantly disobedient? They are not equal. As for those who believe and do good, the gardens are their resting place, an entertainment for what they did. And as for those who, the Arabic term here is fasiqoon, or those who are defiantly disobedient, those who are transgressors, they go beyond what God allowed consistently, their home is the fire. Wherever they desire to go forth from it, they will be brought back into it, and it will be said to them, Taste the punishment of the fire, which you call a lie. And then in the 47th chapter of the Quran, verses 25 to 28, we're told, Surely those who turn away after guidance has become clear to them, the devil has made a light matter for them, like they think it's no big deal, and he gives them time. That is because they say to those who hate what God has revealed, We will obey you in some of the affairs, and God knows their secrets. So they think that the disbelievers are, and their ideas are better than God, right? But how will it be when the angels cause them to die, smiting their backs? That is because they follow what is displeasing to God, so they are fasiqoon, right? And are averse to his pleasure, therefore he has made null their deeds. So this is very important, because if we are people that behave like this, then you can call yourself whatever you want, but God calls you fasiqoon. And then we're told that God does not guide people who are fasiqoon. In the 63rd chapter of the Quran, verses 5 through 6, we're told, And when it is said to them, Come, the messenger of God will ask forgiveness for you, they turn back their heads, and you may see them turning away while they are big with pride. It is unlike to them whether you beg forgiveness for them or not beg forgiveness for them. God will never forgive them. Surely God does not guide the fasiqeen, the defiantly disobedient. And then we're also told in the 61st chapter of the Quran, verse 5, And when Moses said to his people, O my people, why do you give me trouble? And you know indeed that I am God's messenger to you. But when they turned away, God made their hearts turn away. And God does not guide the defiantly disobedient people, fasiqoon, people who are fasiqoon. And in all honesty, you can call yourself whatever you want, but if you are defiantly disobedient to God, if you are fasiqoon, if this describes you, then you can call it major sins, you can call it minor sins. You know what God forbids, and if you persist in that kind of behavior, God tells you in the 4th chapter of the Quran that your repentance will not be accepted. And I think this verse is 17 and 18, but I'm not entirely sure. But I know it is in Surah Nisa. God says in the Quran, in the 38th chapter, verse 28, in the 10th chapter, verse 33, Thus does the word of your Lord prove true against those who are defiantly disobedient, fasiqu, that they do not believe. You cannot ever believe in God truly while you are in constant disobedience to God. And that is what a fasiq is. And he can call himself a Muslim if he wants. God does not allow us to escape justice and judgment just because we decide to call ourselves something. This describes the behavior. Peace be with you.